This is the Neoliberal Round Podcast.
Do believe that it.
Welcome to the Neoliberal Round Podcast. We have Ricardo and we're live. And
Hi.
we've been giving updates on the what's going on with the U.S.-Iran attack or war with Israel. Ricardo, you have some updates for us. What's going? I know we had a podcast the other day, and we ended with you talking about the Epstein files, and you believe that Epstein has much to do with what's going on with this war. And now today we're hearing about what's going on with Epstein and the war and how it's connected. What's going on? And then we go on. Yeah, what's going on?
Well, I just heard on MSNBC News, they were talking about there are documents that an inmate said that he overheard guards talking inside the cell of Epstein when he was killed, saying that, and then somebody alluded to the fact that, hey, we're going to have to, don't worry about it. My guys are going to cover it up, so you don't have to worry about it. Somebody said, oh, you killed this guy. And they said, don't worry about it. We have someone who's going to take care of it. Also, they questioned the validity of his suicide now because stories are coming out saying that when he did gain a little bit of consciousness, he did say, um, um, that somebody tried to kill him. And he had a lot of plans. He had lawyers. He had a way to, he thought he was going to get off. So all of these information, if you're thinking about it, it doesn't seem to add up that he would try to kill himself, considering that he has all this money and all of these connections. So it seemed as though there was a bigger cover up happening in that scenario. Yes. But yes, so that's just coming out recently. But you and I wanted to talk about Epstein, his wealth, his money. I always tell you, follow the money. Where is he getting his money from?
Tell us about your assumptions about Epstein and the war. You believe that?
Well, I do believe that Epstein was selling information. He could have been potentially been hired or working for the IDF, and I do believe it. I mean, it's not impossible to think that he's working for some type of secret service, trying to get close to leaders and heads of states and billionaires in order to sell or receive information, and also to influence a particular government to flourish or a certain type of regime change somewhere. That's what you do. You infiltrate a country. This is over 30 years in the making. That's what they're saying, and I do believe that if you see Prince Andrew or former Prince Andrew and in England, and you look at Mendelssohn or the ambassador, these are people that they were not kidnapped because of what they did with these girls or the association. What they were essentially locked up or under investigation for is sharing information, with national security information that with a civilian, with Epstein, and that's the thing. And when you hear that, they were saying that there are other national information that was shared with him. What else could they have shared with him? Because listen, I felt like these girls and all of this inhumane stories you hear about what these men did with these women, they were used because they were just used in order as an ploy in order to blackmail them so that you could blackmail people to do, because you are in such a position of authority that if this information would come out, that you would bury people. And so what governments can do who wants to have influence over, say, the America, because we are a superpower, they will utilize someone like Epstein to infiltrate our government and our system of government throughout the world in order to orchestrate something like this. Because I said, this doesn't look like Trump. It seems as though his hands are tied.
So you believe that Epstein? You said that you believe so. So where you get your information from in terms of all of this?
This is by reading stories, putting it together, seeing what's going on. If you follow New York Times, NPR, MSNBC. So I've been reading and following all these stories, and they're nitbits of information that alluded to that. And if you discuss, that comes out, if you look at the New York Times and follow the crumbs that's been out there, it all is leading back to some type of connection. I mean, it's not been fully proven. It's a theory, and a lot of times, so I don't want anyone to run with it. But I've always said you have to follow this story. It is too big. It's very big.
Do you believe that?
It involves
You
national
believe that
security, espionage.
you believe that the Israelis and Netanyahu had something over Donald Trump, and
I believe that is possible.
The fact that he has reneged on his promise not to have to start a war,
Yes,
and to now be engaged in a war in the Middle East and throw the Middle East into chaos. You believe that it has everything to do with what the Israelis have over him, and vis-a-vis, or I mean per se, the Epstein. They believe
yeah,
that.
and whoever
Do
have,
you
yeah,
think that Epstein was a spy for the Israelis,
I
and
do believe
that
that's a
they have
possibility.
information that might affect the president, and in so doing, they're holding that over his head? And you said that that is what they were. People like Hillary Clinton was warning about.
And that's always my problem when you have a leader for a powerful nation. It's all about, that's why you vet them. It's all about, are they moral? What is their past life like?
Yes, are they morally implicated?
Yes, and that
Yes.
is what. This
So
is why I
so
said,
that's the question. So you're saying that he is
right.
implicated, the Epstein and many other, and because he has his hand in so many things, he is implicated, and that is forcing his hand.
Yes.
And
that's why you can't utilize, like the MAGA nation and Republicans cannot use him in order to carry out their message of what they ultimately wanted to achieve. Because he's flawed. He's a flawed, and not everyone is perfect, but he is severely and heavily flawed and implicated in so much. And when you have someone like that, it's really hard for you to put them in a position of authority, because they're going to be running and they're going to do everything to hide what they've done, including if it means taking down the most powerful country. They sometimes you have to do it in order to now be free. And I do believe that's why when you have the presidential debate and you have the vetting and the caucus and all of this stuff, when we choose our president, yes, they have to be no reproach, above reproach. And those people exist in the world. And those are the people that you want to lead a powerful nation. Someone who is above reproach, who believes and values human. Okay.
And that's fine. Right. We haven't heard any stories, though, that would suggest, really, in any direct way, that would tie the president. Or
I've heard something to that effect once. I think I forgot who I heard it was from one of the MAGA podcasts. But there has been information alluded to that. United Nations talked about the United Nations. Russia was talking at their conference. Not that you could believe what they have to say sometimes, but there's a lot of information I've been gathering out there, and I mean, don't run with it. We have to now do deep, intense research. Hopefully, the media will do their research, and try to figure out what's going on. Why do you have to go through such great length? This is important. This is very important to moving on. If we can move on and heal, this country wants to heal and move on. We really have to get to the bottom of the. Of the Epstein situation, because it is going to be the root. It's a root. It's a root.
But right now, what I'm saying is that right now there is no concrete evidence to suggest this. That the president.
There isn't. Sure, there isn't.
Implicated in any way.
There isn't.
Foreign government has something over him and it's forcing his hand. We're not sure.
Yeah.
But however, you're saying that based on what you have read in the New York Times and other news articles.
Yeah, and what I've seen around,
and the way how the president's been acting. No, yes. But he seems very sure of himself and arrogant. So it suggests that this is how he moves. But I heard that.
Of course you're going to be arrogant.
Yesterday.
This is the greatest superpower on earth. Of course you're going to be.
I heard in the news yesterday that there was some woman had come forward to say that she was raped by Mr. Trump.
Yes.
When she was a teenager.
Yes.
I think I listened to NBC yesterday, and they glossed over it so quickly. They talked about it and moved on to the next story. So I'm not sure what's going on. What they're saying that nothing is. It's far-fetched. It's not true, but I don't know if they're going to investigate that story.
That's what I mean. There's so much. There's so much to uncover. Not everything is far-fetched. So there's always. My mom always said there's 30% to everything that's out there. Even
what we know today, we're learning
there's
that
always some truth.
Sleeper cells have been activated, or the Iranian government is this. I mean, they have chosen their supreme leader. I don't know who the leader is. I didn't watch the news
It's
earlier.
the son of the
The son.
Ayatollah.
Okay,
Yes.
the son of the Ayatollah, and I
He's supposed to
understand
speak to. He's supposed to speak sometime today. No
today.
one. I've never heard him spoke before. He's not a politician. So it's quite interesting that they would have nominated him. That is
And
their
I
constitution.
understand though that it's kind of weird that where I think the U.S. government or Donald Trump and the administration was calling bluff. They were speaking so boldly as if they have the right to choose who the supreme leader of a sovereign nation is, and this war is not ended until they've done that. I think that they were calling bluff. They were sure of themselves, but of course it's important to. I think they were communicating that message because they wanted to frighten the enemy. But
I
I think they were calling bluff because here we are learning that they don't have enough. What they call it? They don't have enough weapons. I mean, they're running out of missiles, and now they are rushing to ask people to the producers to make manufacturers to make anti-defensive missiles. We are learning that Russia is providing secret and China is sitting down with the Iranians. But of course, intelligence officials in the US saying, "Oh no, that's not true. They're just bluffing." I mean, who's bluffing here?
I mean, that is true. I
how
mean,
can they?
listen, we are in a term. What's most important? We lost 100 and something girls at a girls' school. I mean, if you're going to help a country accomplish peace, I mean, taking out so many girls and bombing a girls' school is just totally incoherent and just
You are very
totally
concerned about
anti-American.
this girls' school. You've been talking about this.
Yeah, because you know me, I'm a lover of life. I humanity for me. I'm a humanitarian. I'm all about humanity, humanitarian. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm not independent. I'm American. I'm not Caribbean. I am just American. And for me, America stands for love and everything. The reason why we're the greatest nation on earth is just why we have the greatest superpower and we're the greatest military. We have used it and we've tried, not all the time, tried. I feel like a country try to manage the world on the basis of love and humanity and care and civility. But now we've gone away from that and we're utilizing the thing that our Mikra has talked about. A soft answer turns away wrath, but grieving words stir up anger. So when you sow war will breed war. I felt like diplomacy is always best, and you have to try and try until you can't succeed. And if ultimately then somebody attacks, then I always believe in
I mean, there's no
diplomacy.
diplomacy right now. I mean, they've already started the war. I mean, the war has started. In fact, many people that they're not calling it a war, they're calling it a conflict. It is a war. If another sovereign country attack another sovereign country, that is a war.
Well, listen, it's
They're calling
affecting.
it a conflict because they don't respect these people. They don't believe that they don't
Well,
respect.
guess what?
Like you're calling
This
yeah.
entire conflict has affected economy, health, food, oil, and every single country in the world. Every country is now going to have to pay a price. I can't remember when Donald Trump was in power in 2016 to 2020. The last time we had a crisis was during
When's the last
his
time we had a
when
crisis like this? When
COVID.
you
COVID.
heard about the Iraq War?
Wait, 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 wait. Let me
Every
finish.
time a Republican is controlling the White House, we are
No,
in
that's not the point. I wanted to make a
a
point
war.
out that the last time we had a near collapse of civilization where we had millions of people die because
Yeah.
of something we turned a blind eye to or didn't manage it properly was COVID. This was just several years ago, and I feel like we are just coming out of it, and we were on the right path, and now all of a sudden we're plunged into another world crisis. And before that, it was during the Bush administration where we were plunged into the Iraq War and then the financial crisis of 2008, and then Barack Obama had to come in and try and clean it up, and people still do not respect him enough to say, "Hey, those are the times." Why do
I'm
we have
concerned.
to?
That's true. I'm
Why
concerned
can't
about
we learn our lesson?
I'm concerned about what's going on in the Caribbean with all of this. With oil is becoming expensive. It's rising. Crude oil and Venezuela. I don't know what's going on with Venezuela and with Iran
Well,
and
because
oil.
Jamaica
I
now
mean,
use.
Guyana has oil, so maybe they can go. No, Guyana will. They have to ramp up production in
Well,
Guyana.
listen, the world is going to need food, and they're going to now have to utilize the Caribbean, have to step up big time to help and feed especially America, is because with the war going on, it's going to be hard to transport food, and some people are going to have rations for food and oil and all these stuff. So the Caribbean can utilize it to their benefit to some extent. Also, don't
This
forget that.
president has dipped his hand in too much one time. It's like
Well,
an
I agree. It's always been.
It's just one thing after the next.
I
Yeah,
agree.
it's
Yes.
what
You could have
it's
at least done immigration, and after immigration, then guess what? You know what this is going to do now? This is going to create an
and we're just
immigration.
coming out of COVID.
Wait,
Yeah,
Ronaldo. This is
a
going to
couple
create
years, months ago.
Ronaldo. This is
Yeah.
going to create an immigration crisis. Why? You're trying to resolve immigration crisis in America and tell the rest of Europe to get people out of their country. Now with what's going on in Iran, smaller countries are going to suffer. Some countries are going to suffer. And now he's telling Australia that they should get asylum from the Australian government. Note, this is the same man who tried to push immigrants out of your country because of and then canceling asylum policies. I know because of what you've done in Iran, you perpetuated asylum seekers and immigration issues in other countries, the very policy that you were trying to fix. You know what I mean? It's like you perpetuate the stuff that it's like you try to fix something and perpetuate it with doing something else.
I mean,
it's like
it's
he
crazy,
doesn't like his own success. It's a fault. He succeeds in something and then he just can't take it. Just to jump in and do something else. Why don't you try and succeed at one thing first?
Yeah, it's
Mr. President.
I learned in the news today that I was telling you that they're activating. There are news is coming in that they believe that they are trying to activate sleeper cells here in the U.S. and across the world.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
Sleeper cells is waking up sleeper cells. Iranians have people in this country who are like maybe suicide bombers, but they're trying to activate them, trying to get them to launch.
I hope they don't do that. Look at Mamdani in New York. They try to do something with Mamdani, the New York residents. They tried to bomb it earlier this morning. It was stopped. It was kids and it was ISIS. Is attributed to that.
I heard that today, I'm learning. We're learning that as now in terms of the Iranians are going to attack, and the way they are going to attack, bombs can't reach here. Okay, but apparently they have sleeper cells, people that can launch attacks, create disruption.
I hope that does not happen. Okay. Oh my goodness!
And I said that to one of my fraternity brothers recently. I said, I'm very upset that the peace that we have, the calm that we have, that has been is under siege right now because of this war. Because as much as we are far removed from where the violence is taking place, from the hotspot in the Middleeast, the thing is, they have sleeper cells who they're now trying to wake up to launch attack here in the U.S. And the thing is, now we're learning about sleeper cells. Does that mean is the U.S. going to attack people who are the sleeper cells? Who are the people who are going to be attacking us inside the U.S.? Are we now going to racially profile people?
All I could say is it's
answer. Going to create. This is the problem I'm having. This is the chaos and the catastrophe we're happening here. Now the U.S. the FBI is on high alert. We're gonna be infiltrating conversations, trying to find out who. But the thing is, we're learning that they don't know who these people could be.
Well, I pray
who are these
that
people?
Nothing happens.
Are they going to investigate every Iranian person who is here? Suppose, but no, we saw Iranians demonstrating yesterday. I mean, some Iranians who are here in the U.S. who were in the capital, they were celebrating, but they could very well be sleeper cell people who have infiltrated the demonstrators. Well, we don't know.
Listen, let's not hope that happens. I just want I hope none of this thing what you said happens.
And by the way, you're going to Miami soon, so I hope.
I'll be fine. Listen, I just pray.
Hopefully, there's no sleeper cells in Miami.
Listen, I'm praying and hoping that we come to some type of realization that we have to use diplomacy and love, and we have to pray. We have to be humans. We all live on this earth. We're sharing this earth with everyone else. There have to be some form of compromise and humanity and love. We have to step into the room, or maybe we should just get a child. Why don't we get I bet you we just need a 6 or a 10-year-old to come in and say, okay, I'm going to run, because you adults, for some reason, you forget what it's like to enjoy life. I just want people to enjoy life. That's it. All right. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, we're speaking with Renaldo McKenzie, and I'm Renaldo McKenzie. This is the Neoliberal Round Podcast, and we are just giving you a quick update as to what's going on in the war, sharing our concerns. This is the Pulse Part 23. And of course, and we are part, and it's part of the Neoliberal Round Podcast.
Yes.
The Neoliberal Round Podcast is a 501c3 company now, officially. And just so you know, neoliberalism will be out. We just completed a phase. The other day I told you that we needed investors to get the book out, but the book will be out. We were able to crunch some numbers, and the book will be out, and we have investment behind the book. So I just want to celebrate that, and thank you so much. But I am concerned that we were told that the war was going to end in 8 days, unless they were calling it bluff. They were sure of themselves. They were speaking as if, we're going to wrap this up. This is going to be wrapped up in no time. It doesn't seem that's the case, because now we're learning that Iran has elected a supreme leader. They vow to continue fighting to the end. They have sleeper cells all over the world. What is going on? We have a responsibility as American citizens and residents to hold our government accountable. I've often said that we can't just sit down and sleep and let them do dirt in the world. Okay, because at the end of the day, we are going to pay the price. So we all have a responsibility to find out what's going on and to hold them accountable. This is the Neoliberal Round Podcast. Visit us at theneoliberal.com and anchor.fm/theneoliberal. We're on YouTube at Renaldo McKenzie or the Neoliberal Round. Walk good.